Pastor Andrew here with another Wednesday Word. Hope everyone's having a great week. Today we're going to be talking about baptism, and that's in part just because it's been on my mind. If you're not friends with me on Facebook, then you wouldn't have seen that today is my baptismal anniversary. 36 years ago, my parents brought me to the font at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Southfield, and my mom's family sang a beautiful anthem about our unity in Christ, and Pastor L. Alden Erlinson proclaimed God's promise in water and word, and I was joined to Christ's body as a member of Emmanuel Lutheran. It seems sort of odd sometimes to think about your baptismal anniversary, particularly because I was 4 months old when I was baptized, and I don't remember anything about that day. Any information I have about it now is stuff that was shared with me by my parents later on. They have a little cassette tape recording of the service, and not every year, but every so often they'd pull that cassette tape out and put it into the tape player, and we'd get to listen to a little bit of that service as it got more warbly through the years, and I'd get to hear my family singing and myself crying when I was baptized, and it was a reminder of this really important thing that happened to me before I was able to understand it. You might wonder why it is that we baptize infants, why we have this continuing practice of baptizing people who don't understand what the heck is happening to them. And I can give you the confessional answer that it's an expression of God's grace. I can tell you that I think it's been a good thing for the church to do throughout the centuries just as a historical matter, but the best thing I can do is tell you about my own experience. And that's that even though I don't remember that date, even though I didn't choose to be baptized, it was a decision my parents made for me, my baptism still forms sort of the center of my life of faith. I have this knowledge that before I knew anything, I was loved by God, and my parents cared enough to bring me to the Lord's house, to have those promises spoken over me, and then they committed to raising me in a household where faith was important, and to bring me to the services of God's house, and to understand that faith in God was an important part of what it meant to be a part of our family. It wasn't until later that that commitment became real for myself. But with every twist and turn in my life, I've known that my baptism into Christ is an irrefutable fact about me. That no matter what I do or where I go, God has claimed me in those waters and spoken a promise to me that no one can ever take away from me. Baptism is an incredible and glorious gift. And it's something that as Lutheran Christians and as people joined to Christ, we should celebrate, because it's one of the few things in life that we can really count on, the promise of God that can never be taken away. I invite you throughout this week to think back. If you can, remember your baptism. If you can't, think about what it means to you that you've been joined to Christ. And let us together rejoice in the promises of baptism and the promise of being a part of God's family. We'll see you in church.